always got this sinewy quality, which I quite like.
What do you call that?
Sinewy, you know, like they've sort of got good length and the tannins still quite tough, but it's going to settle down quite nicely.
Well, the fine grit, the fine grit, which is textural as well, without being heavy and dry, and it's got some fruit weight behind it too. But
I think the difference maybe between here is the Mediterranean air is a little heavier with water. Humidity's a little bit higher, so you don't get that ripping of the moisture out of the soil.
Condensation effect, is it?
Well, you know, we've got evaporation of 8 metres a year, and we've got a rainfall of 540 millimetres in South Australia. So.
Sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Here we go, boss. This is your one. Warm. Wow, look at the colour on that. Jesus, guys. I hope you're ready. Wow. That's a very impressive colour. So this is Kaesler Worms 2006 vintage. Worms, W-O-M-S, huh?
Weapon of mass seduction.
You're kidding me.
Weapon of mass seduction. Yeah. What are the grape varieties?
Shiraz and Cabernet.
Right.
So it's sort of the typical Aussie dry red blend.
Aussie, what do you call it? Aussie dry red?
Well, Australia and sort of...
It's not very seductive so far, but I'll hang in there, right?
So in the 50s and 60s, Australia made these blends of Shiraz and Cabernet, or Cabernet and Shiraz, and sort of as time has proven that's actually a very good assemblage for those two varieties. Patel is the ship. This is actually serious marketing for a change, but this is Patel was the boat that the Kaesler family immigrated to Australia on.
Right.
So this is Shiraz from a vineyard planted in 1961. The Kaesler family immigrated to Australia in about 1853.
Right, and where did they come from?
Silesia.
Right.
Silesia, which
Where's
back in
that?
those days was part of Poland.
Poland.
Old
right.
Prussia.
Prussia, yeah.
Right.
They were Lutheran. They were being persecuted religiously for being Lutherans.
Yeah.
Really?
So the Lutheran church had split in two, and they fled. And they fled to. Well, a lot went to Canada. They went to America, but a big chunk of them also went to Australia.
Right.
Land in Australia, not a grapevine in sight. When the next fleet came, they sent the message back to Prussia: please send some cuttings because we're wineless.
Right.
And we don't drink rum.
Yeah.
So this is from our oldest vineyard, which is planted in 1893. This was the first time I'd seen a wine really evolve, improve and change in the barrel in a really remarkable sort of way. And it's still got a stinky edge to it, but I think there's enough fruit to carry it.
Do you call that the stinky edge? There is an edge to it
Well,
I wouldn't call it stinky.
The sad thing is in Australia would be knocked out of any selection because it doesn't pass the first test. But the better test is actually the weight and the structure and how it evolves.
Yeah.
But they fail to see. I miss the wood for the trees, if you like. Because they're focused on this one thing, which is just not super clean.
Right.
There's much more to wine than perfume. I mean, we watch it in France. No one smells wine. Incredible the evenness about. Even though they're made with different styles and programs, the one commonality is texture, structure, and fineness. They're also very even. I want to see these wines in 2 hours to see how they evolve, because that's great wine evolves with time.
test.
Absolutely. So,
Give a shit, and many food production and wine production places don't. It's very industrious and it provides food at a good price, but people are more interested these days in what they're putting into their bodies, and they care a lot about it. They really care a lot about it. And we all spend a lot of time making these wines, and it's a big commitment from time and money and all those sorts of things, but we're around the winery almost 24/7, and if you're going to do it, you might as well do it the way you want and feel good about it. So it's the way we want to do it as well. There has always been this battle about old world, new world, Australia versus France, and I hate that discussion, because really at the end of the day, if all of the world drank just 5% more wine, then there wouldn't be too much wine around. But in addition to that,
they make a sausage on like this.
It's about getting people off beer, off spirits, and getting them onto wine. And really, the wine industry is a world industry. And the more we work together, the more people will start drinking wine. So, I'm here to steal ideas and also hand them out.
But the enemy is bad wine. The enemy is not our competitor. The enemy is bad wine, right?
That's a very good point. And that's why we are happy to have our Australian friends here and mix our knowledge, our experiences with our Australian friends, and see the way their wines evolve differently than our wines, see the way our wines evolve, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And this exchange is necessary.
And you know what? I think we've really got Australia's a little bit in front when it comes to the wine, but we don't make salami like this.